Darkening in Galesburg, and you're looking at those winds picking up gradually, maybe now, but they will give you a good blast of winds really within the next few minutes here. Henderson County mostly covered by rain and wind. Warren County in the northern half, Monmouth, now you're under the storm. Roseville, you're still in those golden minutes, but it won't be long until that line hits you. And as we drop farther south, you can see that in Hancock and McDonough County, warnings there, but right now the storm hasn't really entered the warning box except for a few lone areas of rain. But the stronger winds, and down on this end of the storm, you can see it's not nearly as organized, so the winds won't be as strong. But as we look at the northern portions of the county, from Carthage to Macomb, both of those counties, that's where the strongest of the weather will be. Yeah, you'll get some thunderstorms in the southern half, especially of Hancock County, but it won't be anything near what we're dealing with the farther north on this line you go. And again, we're just going to kind of do this over and over and over, because every time we go north now and show you this radar, and I'll have Teresa hold it right there because there's something I want to talk about back to the south and west. Every time we show you this radar, will be a few radar scans in, and those storms will have moved probably quite a few miles in just a few moments, because they're booking along at about 70 miles per hour on the leading edge and producing winds up to 70, 80 miles per hour on the high end, maybe some 90 mile per hour winds still left here, especially north of I-80. And even on the low end, we're talking about winds around 50 to 60 miles per hour. Now, here's another batch of storms that will be forming and kind of following this initial line in, and they might even connect from southeast Iowa down to north central Missouri here. Nonetheless, as these storms move to the north, they'll likely get toward Highway 34 in southeastern Iowa and turn a little bit east. We'll keep an eye on that. But that could be yet another thing that we watch later this afternoon in terms of strong storms. Now, again, we'll take it to the north end of the line here with Teresa driving the radar. And as we get up, first of all, you can see this whole line of storms. It's a bow echo, and the strongest part of the bow is right there from about the Metro Quad Cities into east central Iowa, right along that Mississippi curve that bows out just like this bow of storms is to the east. That's where the strongest storms happen to seem to be. And those were the storms that when they were back here in Linn County near Hiawatha produced winds up to 112 miles per hour. That's the report we had. And you can see that now we're getting a little bit brighter hail cores here in Clinton and Jackson County. That's where we're getting perhaps some large enough hail that it doesn't melt, although it hits the ground, because otherwise it's so warm and humid. A lot of the hail was melting by the time it hit the ground. So where we're seeing it on radar, you weren't seeing it on the ground. Here now, especially just southwest of Bellevue, some very hilly country in Jackson County right here. Some of the higher spots of Iowa might be getting some hail in those rural farmsteads, as we see another hail core just to the west now of Clinton, between Clinton and DeWitt, north of Highway 30. That is moving to the east. And as you can see with that last radar scan, it went down in intensity a little bit. But now we've got most of Joe Davies County under some thunderstorms. You can almost see the dividing line. We had individual storms here that kind of conglomerated into a mass of storms, but the actual bow echo portion, this individual line of conglomerated storms, is now into western Joe Davies County, over Galena, over Hanover, and you can kind of see that dividing line right there, especially highlighted when the sweep goes through. But now we've got the storms about a third of the way, maybe between a quarter and a third of the way into Carroll County, moving east at around 60 to 70 miles per hour. Prophetstown, now you're going to see that rain really pick up, as will the rest of central Whiteside County. Eastern Whiteside County and eastern Carroll County, still not much going on. What skies are getting much darker now. Might see a little bit more breezy conditions as this continues to move right down Interstate 88. Erie now under the heavier rain. Prophetstown, you'll be getting that shortly. Morrison getting the heavier rain now. Tampico, still not much happening. Cloudy skies. You're thinking, what's all this noise they're talking about? Well, you will get in on it in the next half hour, even less than that, as we probably see another 30 miles of movement here, if that, and that's going to be covered by this storm in about 20 minutes or so. So as we drop south, a little bit farther south, you could see that in northern Henry County, we've got the storms moving through, still moving down Interstate 88, getting toward Atkinson now. Cambridge, you're getting into the heavier rain. Rio, Henderson, starting to see your weather really deteriorate, as is Woodhull.